Hey fam, welcome to Driven Life TV. Welcome to another video. So we're continuing with the series Overcoming Pornography Addiction. Today we're talking about practical changes, and this is video number 6. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us dive right into it. So the question I'm answering today is, what are some of the practical changes that you can make to make sure that your victory is assured? What are some of the practical changes? Now, the first thing I want you to understand is every habit has a pattern. Okay, it's never random. When you come to a place where you're addicted to something, or maybe you're doing something regularly, it has a pattern. It's never random. Your body gets used to these patterns, and then it gets used to the emotions attached to these patterns. And then that's what leads to an extreme dependency on this thing, which we call an addiction. Okay? And until these patterns or routines are broken, this addiction will continue to have a hold on your life. So you need to study yourself. You need to understand, what are your patterns? How do you normally fall into this thing? What happens for you to come to a place where you're actually watching this, where you're actually masturbating, where you're actually doing something that you shouldn't be doing? What brings you to that place? You need to study yourself and look at your patterns. Now, the question you're asking is, what are your patterns? What do you use to watch these videos? Is it your phone? Is it your laptop? What are your patterns? Number 2, what time of the day, or maybe what times of the day do you normally watch these things? Do you normally masturbate? What times of the day? There will be a pattern there. What emotions lead up to this? Before you actually come to a place where you get thoughts to watch this, what emotions accompany this activity? What motivates you to do this? What are the patterns? The final question you can ask yourself is, where does it normally happen? Where does it normally happen? There are patterns here. Where does it normally happen? Is it in your room? Is it in your bathroom? Is it on the sitting room, living room? Where does it normally happen? You need to study yourself. The reason why this is important is because once you know your patterns, you can know how to break that cycle. You can know what to change, what to remove, to make sure you bring some uncomfortability to this addiction, to make sure that it's not as easy to access these things. So, if it's a phone, maybe you need to buy a phone that has no internet, or maybe you need to start using free data. Are you hearing me? Someone is saying, no, I like watching videos. Maybe you need to stop. Maybe you need to stop watching TV in late nights of the hours of the night, late hours of the night. Maybe you need to stop, okay, being in your room for too long. Maybe you need to reduce phone time. You're staying on your phone too long. Maybe you need to delete your Instagram accounts or TikTok accounts or Facebook accounts. You need to know what makes you susceptible to these things, and what can you do to actually break this pattern, this ease that you had in accessing these things. How can you make yourself uncomfortable? How can you make it hard for you to actually go ahead and do this thing? Someone shared something that if you normally watch pornography on your phone and you do it in your room, why don't you make it a point that when you go to bed, your phone is always on the living room and you're in the bed without a phone? Such changes can actually help you to make sure that it becomes harder for you to actually watch this. Okay, why is that important? Just making it hard is not a solution in itself, I know. But when you make it hard, it makes it possible for God to intervene, okay? In that way as well, you give yourself a chance to resist this addiction. You give yourself a chance to say no. You give yourself a chance to think through what you're about to do, okay? So when your mind is involved, maybe now the Holy Spirit can reach you. Maybe now your rational mind can come in. Maybe now wisdom can kick in to say, this is not something you should be doing. Are you hearing me? So maybe this is what you need. So these are some of the practical changes you can make, man. And please, no sacrifice is too much. Especially if we go back to your why, your motivation. No sacrifice is too much. You have to understand that. So I hope this is helpful. I want you to stay for the next video. Okay, watch the next video because what I'm going to share there will be life-changing for you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Until next time, have a good one.